So, I have a Twosun. It's another newer Twosun, I believe. Got a couple of these new ones. And this thing's been, a little bit, not a lot. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this one. This is a Twosun, I don't know the TS model, but it's a, let's get rid of the oily bag. I'm throwing them away from now on. It's a button lock. Like a traditional button lock. Like they've had some button locks, but they've been behemoths. What is it? A ts495. RIHE design, 14C 28-inch steel. Yeah. Well, let's get all the oil off of it. I'm going to get rid of this right here. Okay. Oily rag. Let's get the initial oil slick off of it. Oh, look at here. It's a folded knife. It's a folded steel knife. Who makes those? Real Steel, I think. I'll look before the end of the video. But yeah, there's somebody out there making folded steel knives. Okay, nice little clip point. Almost sort of buoy. Kind of a buoy-ish. Interesting. Let's get rid of this towel. I mean, tiny little bit of lock stick. The button is creating a really nice detent. It feels to be loosening up a little bit. How tight are we? Oh yeah. Locked up solid as a rock. Interesting. Pretty nice. I like it, man. Well, let's get in it. Look at this G10 on there. Man, I'll tell you, this G10, if this was dyed, the stripe pattern that would be in there would be stunning. Steel liner. I say steel liner, but it's a folded steel liner. Very cool. It's going to be interesting to get in here. I know that searching my memory, dealing with these from the other manufacturer was not the easiest of tasks. Like, I think they can create a challenge. We'll see. We'll see. And all these screws got to come out. Pocket clip, all of it over here. And then the scale can pop. It's got a fair bit of oil in it. So if you get one of these, I would say just plan on getting it apart. If nothing else, to this stage, to wipe all this oil out of it. Huh. Well, let's take the other side apart because I'm gonna want to get those scales out of there too. Should come. Yep, there it is. And then the button. How does a button come out of there? I guess the blade's got to come out for the button to come out. Nope, there the button fell. I just had to get it at the right angle to relief it right here. And then those pop out. So I'll need to press those in to get them in there. The stop pin pushes out, which, man, is that handy. There Okay. Yeah. Nice. Folded, polished steel. Contoured G10. It's not just flat, it's contoured. I'll get these screws out of here. Man, is this thing an oily mess. Alright, we're completely apart. Let's try to get rid of the Exxon Valdez here. I am going to stop right here and put a little tension on this clip. And the reason being, I've talked about it quite a few times, but these polished stainless steel clips like this are so slick. Like the inside surface here and then this surface, they're so slick that adding a little tension to them never hurts them. It can only help them. So there. And that's all it took right there. And when you put it back together, you won't notice it except if you try to lift that clip up. Then you'll notice that it's got quite a bit of down force on it, tension. But when you go to put this thing in a pocket, it's going to be appreciated, because without that extra tension, this thing would be slip sliding around in a pocket. Nice stonewash blade. I like the stonewash on the 14C like this versus the satin. It definitely hides any blemishes in the steel. Yeah, good looking. Yep. It's got the new logo. Some have had the old. This one's got the new. It actually says Twosun and then has a logo in between versus the O and the 2 being the logo. Yeah. I think I like the old school where the O is the logo. You know what? I don't hate that one either. Keep going on this oil slick. This piece right here. Whew. I feel like I'm eating fried chicken. Now, I definitely got to get the towel in between there. Because all that oil's up in there as well. All right. Now, let's do some of these small parts. Okay, well, let's put it back together. Okay, I think where we're going to start is with this blade. And the bearing recesses in there, like so. So I want to put the tiniest little bit of oil on it. I don't want a lot of oil in here. There we go. And then I'm going to put that blade in there. And then I'm going to put the pivot in to hold it in place. like so. Okay, now I'm going to lower that pivot enough right there so that I can slide this bearing in. And it goes cage down. And once I get it under the scale, well, let me do this. I'm going to pull that back out of there because of the width of this scale and the stiffness of it. That bearing's going to have to be right there when I push it into that knife because it recesses into that blade a little bit. So I'm going to put a drop of oil on it. I'm holding the bearing from below. So I've got it all. Well, now I'm going to push them both in there at the same time. Woo, come on. Popped it right out of there. There. So now they're locked in place. And to be honest, I think I'm going to put the button in. Yeah, right there. Ooh, nice. Right there is where the button would go in. So let's do that. I'm going to bring it up from the bottom because that's how it fell out. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put that pin in. It'll have to come back out, but I think that'll help line everything up properly for me to get the button in. Yeah, because see that? I'm having to put pressure on that right there. Now I should be able to get that button in because it's lined up properly. Yep, just like so. And the stop pin can go down from the top. Wonderful. Wunderbar. Yeah, that's all good, man. Oop. Well, that's okay, because it's kind of what I wanted to do next, was put this scale on. And then put that stop pin back in, or the pivot pin. Boy, it'd be a lot easier if I just looked at that. Like so. Yeah. How about 1,000,000 times easier? Okay. Then I can put this one on and go ahead and put the pivot. Oh, I need the screw or the spring. Okay. I mean, 90% of that battle's been won. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've got bunch of long ones. And 1, 2, 3 short ones. I'm going to say the long ones go here. And there. Not sure. Let's try one. Well, 100% that was right. And then the short ones go here. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, no, that one doesn't go there. That one, I believe, is going to go here. Oh. Yeah, I think that's this one. Yeah, I know it was, because now it's in the scale, but it's not sticking through. And then the pocket clip are these two long ones, because they have to go through the steel, through the scale, the whole thing. So let's get the back one in first. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that's going to be right. Just got to get it lined up properly. There, I got it. No, there I didn't get it. There, I got it. Just got alignment issues. All right, good grief. It was a school party, a screw party. Man, is that nice. I think I can put a little bit of, oh yeah, it had room. That is so nice. It's kind of a traditional button lock, whereas traditional budget G10 button lock, but with that folded steel liners. Very cool. Okay, and then yeah, I had to go digging for that screw. I saw it. I knocked it right off the back of the bench. And there's a mountain of stuff under the bench, so of course I had to dig it all out to get back there to get that screw. But I got it. All right, let's wrap this thing up. That took us a while to get through there. The action on this button lock, it's a little stiff for the thumb stud, the Spidey flick. It's sort of stiff. Now, the remedy would be to take that spring and either shorten it or compress it. I'm not one for shortening them, clipping some of that off. I'd just grab them with some pliers and squeeze them a little bit. But that would be the solution there, is to take some of that off. Yeah, it's rock solid. Works wonderfully with the button. And the thumb flick is acceptable. Nice new thumb stud design. Yeah, it works well. I'm going to give it, it's just because it's stiff, I'm going to give it an A-. If it wasn't stiff, look at it. And, through time, that'll probably get better. That spring will wear in there. Pretty solid. Ergonomics, this thing is really comfortable in hand. The shape of this getting wider at the back affords for a real confident grip. The pocket clip disappears. It's comfortable in hand. This G10 is smooth. So I'd say it lacks in grippiness. It's a smooth feeling knife in hand. It's got jimping on the spine. Pressure down on that jimping, you can push right past it. It's not aggressive in any way. It's a little bit of a choke up spot if you wanted to get a little tighter. Not so confident, very confident. As far as that goes, coming forward with that tip, it's going to come up short of a confident grip. There's really not a finger guard here to protect your fingers. And the knife isn't really grippy enough to keep you from coming forward up over that blade. It's got a really nice reverse grip. It's slanted at the back to cap that thumb wonderfully there. The pocket clip grips in the fingers nicely. So it's got a great reverse grip on it. And yeah, I can get this grip here, but I can't really cap it. I can, but it's uncomfortable because it's leaning into my thumb there. So it's more of a off to the side, which kind of takes away from this being solid here. But I will say the other finger can grip over the top. And so I'd say this is doable, can get there. Let's check the pocket clip. We added a little bit of tension to that pocket clip. So let's see where we're at here. Thick stuff, yeah, almost completely disappears. Got about a 1/4 inch of the very tip of that knife sticking out. That hole provides a good platform to get the fingers on and pull that out. Excellent tension. So in like fashion, it's got wonderful retention in the pocket. Like where you put this is where it's going to be when you go looking for it. It is really locked down in the pocket there. Yeah, very nice. Safety, yeah, obviously not through that folded liners. Think single piece of steel folded over, and the tip is recessed. I just noticed that the blade isn't very centered. Let's run a screwdriver and see if we can't figure that out. Yeah, I tightened it and took it right to it. How's our action? It's tighter. Still very smooth, but the blade is centered now. It's super locked up now. I can still function the knife every way. So I'd say, yeah, it needs to be tight like that. Why not? Blade centered there. That's its nominal place to land. Yeah, okay. What about that tip? Now the tip's recessed. So clip's good, tip's good. I can handle this knife any way I want, and I'm not going to run the risk of catching that sharp part. And that button provides wonderful bottom detent. When this knife is closed, That's not coming open unless you want it to come open. Unless you press that button, that knife is going to stay closed in the pocket. Is that 14C sharp? Yeah. Come on, man. It's crazy sharp. All right. Again, button lock, Twosun, ts495, 14C28N, stonewash steel. It's got a folded single piece liner, steel liner, and it's going to be a budget piece. How much are they? Yeah, so they're retailing right around $45. 14C, G10, steel liners, and then that cool folded. I mean, seems reasonable. Deep carry pocket clip. Over at Timber's Edge, you get 10% off over there. And that would bring this down around 40 bucks. Yeah. Sub $45 for 14C button lock. Pretty cool. Definitely a budget piece. All right. Well, listen, appreciate y'all watching.